Hello everybody, welcome back to Santa's Switch Adapted Toys. This is, we did a misting sprayer the other day. This is going to be misting sprayer number 2. It's a different style. This is the Tovia, also available on Amazon, purchased on Amazon. And I'll link to that down below in the description. So we're going to unbox it. This is very similar to the previous one, in that it's got a bottle. This bottle is a little smaller than the other one. I could do a side-by-side comparison here in a few minutes. And it's slightly different functions. It does not have hold capacity, and different way of opening it up and getting the adapting done. So we'll get right to it, and then when we're all done we'll do a demonstration. So bottom ring needs to come off, and it's a little tighter fit than what the other one was. It's also plastic instead of metal. There's no screws or anything on the side. So what's holding this clamshell case together is we can remove the nozzle, set it into the parts bin. We need to pry off this front ring. Whoops. Now that pried it off and popped it right onto the floor. Didn't go too far though. And the other thing that's holding it together is this back cover, which is rather a novel creation that they've done. And I'm going to pry that out. In order to not use screws or anything else to put it together, this is a little awkward to do. Oops, turned on the pump. Because it's got two pins, or two projections, that go into each side of the case. And it's not coming out quite as easy as I would have hoped. Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. We're going to start the, oops, almost lost my cord. We're going to start it open here. See if I can loosen up that back part a little bit to come out. This cover here covers up the USB charging port. Now that I've got it opened up a little bit, maybe I can push that out with that. It's a good fit for the company to put it in, but it's makes it a little awkward to try and get it apart. You'll see here in a minute what the connection is. And it's got a rubber seal. Waterproofing help make sure that it keeps water out of the electrical compartment area. Alright, there it is. So these 4 on the top correspond with some LED lights that show status. The bottom 2 pins are what goes into these 2 holes, and that's what holds that clamshell together. So now that we've got that out, very easy to take the clamshell apart. Again, no hardware, no screws. Very similar to the other one. We're going to take off the trigger guard. It also has that very nice, the ones that I like, the switches that have 2 contacts that we're going to solder to. Okay, and we're going to solder again to the same ones that they did. Because this trigger fits so tightly on that printed circuit, we have to be a little cautious to how we route our wires into it. So we're going to route the wiring, once I drill and open up the case, we're going to route the wiring just through the back there and allow it to come down the side of the outside. So let's get that done. Turn on my soldering iron, exhaust fan for smoke. I use a power drill to drill the holes, and I'm going to, let's see, there's room also around on the back side to put a hole through here. And we're going to be a little careful drilling this hole through here, folks, because we don't want to accidentally overshoot the hole and get into damage the tubing or anything inside. Going to feed my wiring cable. I'm using a mono cable. If you're using a stereo cable, you need to adapt it to accommodate the fact that you only need two wires coming out of your cable for switch adapted toys. Alright, by forcing that in, we've got, okay, and I need for the ends of my cable to come up to about there inside the case. I'm going to tie a knot that puts the knot right behind the tube, and because of the construction of this clamshell, that will be sufficient to keep it from coming out instead of having it go all the way back to the other side. Let's see what this is for distance. It looks good. Okay, so that knot's now tied in, sitting behind there. And that's sufficient for getting it in. I'm going to put this into my third hand. Let's see. I said I wanted the wires to go here. So to do this adapting, I'm going to pull this back out here a minute so it has some room to work with things. Alright. I've got some reverse tweezers that clamp down on the wire and hold it steady. A little solder. Take advantage, there's solder points already on here. And that's what we're going to just solder our wires to, is those solder points. No reason to reinvent the wheel, and they've provided us with a really easy connection points. So the soldering's done. Off camera, I've got a switch that we're going to plug into this. Let's turn off the exhaust fan. Soldering is done, and find out if the switch. Yep, the switch now operates the device. Now, this, unlike the other one, is a simple on or off. That's all it gives you here. I don't know that you can get. I didn't read the instructions. I don't know if holding a length of time gives a different power setting. Let's see what the lights on the back say. Single punch and I have 3 lights lit. Single punch of this adaptive switch, turns it off. Same thing, a single punch turns it on, single punch turns it off. If I hold the switch in, I'm holding the adaptive switch, it made no difference. Okay, so this one here is simple, a single on and a single off. It doesn't have the other hold feature or spray feature like the other one did. Okay, get the switch ready to reassemble. It goes in here. Our wiring, as I had indicated, our wiring is going to come through that hole into the back behind the switch, and then this sets back. Yep. Okay, so this sets back into a recessed area here. Sorry if I turned it away from the camera. And that is established. Make sure this circuit board is seated properly. And down here, this is a rubber gasket that again seals it to the bottom. You see this knob, this bump right here? That bump goes into a spot that they've left on the clamshell casing. So that's tightened back up. We're going to, let's see, close the clamshell up. And if it closes up properly, then all the gaps are closed. We'll start by holding it back together with this ring. It only goes on one way. That's done. Let's see, am I missing anything? Not yet. Okay. This goes back into here, and it will clip into place, snap into place. On the front, similarly. This lines up. It's got a couple of registration parts. We'll put the USB cover back in. Yeah, that might have been easier to have done while the clamshell was open. But it's there. Okay. And then the spray adjust. All right. Give me a moment and I will go get some water. All right, we have some water now. And let's hook this up. Camera a little bit, and this will be the first time it's been running with water. Let's flip the adaptive switch. Oh, yep, we got spray. All right. Oh man, it's warm down here right now, and so now we have a spray, and we can adjust that spray out to where it is it shoots all the way across the room. I mean, it shoots a long ways. So, again, this particular one is either you press the button once, your adaptive switch, press the adaptive switch once, turns it on, and it stays on, okay? press the adaptive switch again and it turns it off. So that's the function on that one. So if you like these videos, want me to make more, let me know. Santa's Switch Adapted Toys loves subscribers. You do that, you can find out when another video is posted. You get alerted to it. Share, because the goal on this is to share the knowledge as to how things are done to make life easier for the folks in our community. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Oops, I said I was going to do a side-by-side comparison of the jugs, size of the volume of these jugs between these two products. So let's get that up here. So this is the MPT that I did in an earlier video. Let's crank it up even further to show you more mess of my shop. That I did in an earlier video, and it has a much larger jug for water. So this one here is more compact and portable. I think that for most purposes this one would work well. So the question then I had earlier was, on this reservoir, what is the proprietary or the connection? Can these be swapped out? Just out of curiosity. I'm going to say they could be, but it's not recommended. This doesn't seem to fit quite as well as it should. So in this product, this jug goes with the Tovia, the smaller jug with the Tovia, larger jug with the MPT. Is that right, what I say? Yes, the MPT. And I do not know about fitting it onto a water bottle or something else you may have if you wanted to do that. So that's just a little side by side. So okay, thanks folks. You have a wonderful day. Enjoy, and again, subscribe if you like to get notices, and share to get the community more aware of how to make things in life easier.